The Forest is no doubt one of the greatest survival games of all time. In my opinion, it's really only second to its sequel, Sons of the Forest. This game is as popular as it is for a multitude of reasons. The AI, the world, and the you know what I mean. Like the that feeling, that vibe, that just something I can't put my finger on about this game. It's just so perfect. Any other game that I've seen attempt to replicate this just never does it right. The only time I feel what I feel when I'm playing this game is when I'm walking through the woods alone in real life. And if you are unaware, or I guess just blind because it's been in the background all video, The Forest has a VR mode. Most VR horror games rely on jump scares or things of that nature, but The Forest relies on you feeling that you're not alone and are in fact never alone. This is my favorite type of horror. Maybe what makes it so good is how familiar it is. To give off that feeling of unease, most VR horror games use things like deep fog or giant eclipses in the sky. But The Forest does it by making everything just seem so normal. So normal to the point where you start thinking, there's gotta be something wrong. And, yeah, there is. Cave with skulls next to it. I don't know about you guys, but I think I should go in there. Maybe it's just because I live in the northern US, which is, pretty much Canada. There's also just no music. There's the sound of your footsteps, the wind, the bugs, and sometimes the guttural screams of the local populace. Dude. Speaking of them, they are horrifying. And not just because, dude, the obvious reasons, but because they seem to have almost this sense of self-preservation and intelligence. Sometimes you'll see them, they'll see you, and they'll just watch you and run away. I see you. Like, what? Where are you going? Why are you going? Who are you going to? I mean, it makes sense, but those thoughts are still, kinda scary. In most games, if something sees you, they just come straight at you. But these guys, stalk. It's like they're deciding if it's even worth it for them to attack you. Something interesting about these guys is they actually have set routes they like to travel on, and it seems to be different in different games. I remember during my first save, years ago at this point, sitting in my treehouse and watching this party go by the same place every so often. Sometimes a few of them would break off from the party and come towards my base to attack me, but most of the time they would just pass by. This adds a whole nother level to the layer cake that is these NPCs, because it makes it seem like you, as the player, are almost insignificant in their eyes. It makes it seem like they, exist without you. Like the world doesn't just stop when you're not there. The world of The Forest just feels so and that's multiplied by 1,000 in VR. It's just so horrifying and eerie, yet at the exact same time, it's peaceful and calming. Out of all the official VR modes for non-VR games that I have seen, The Forest is actually pretty decent. To keep within the genre, it's better than Phasmophobia's and is most certainly better than whatever the Neanderthals that were developing Subnautica at the time crammed into their game. Dude, this sucks. You actually have hands that you can, use as hands. You're not just a VR head stuck onto the normal player body. And the hands aren't just an extension of your mouse, they can actually do things that hands can do. When you want to swing at something, whether it be a tree or the limb of one of the natives, what did you expect? You have to You'll never guess. Swing. And apparently you actually have to physically hold your lighter up to things to light them. Discovering this was revolutionary. I figured it would just be something like a button press, but no, they actually put effort into this. What? This is what Kyojiiin must have felt in 20,000 BCE when discovering fire for the first time. Something they didn't add though was weapon weight, and something I don't believe they took into consideration is how fast human hands can move when they aren't actually holding an axe. Damn. The combat, while it's, nothing revolutionary, is still pretty damn fun for being in an unfinished VR mode. Swinging a katana at your enemies is pretty entertaining. But I also figured out that it's not just the campfires that light when you hold the lighter next to them. Is it actually do I actually gotta How are you guys doing? You wanna step a little closer? Whoa! You guys are right next to each other, right there. You guys dead? Maybe you shouldn't have done that. Think twice next time, won't you? The base game is absolutely amazing. So I guess it would be impossible or really hard to make a bad VR. New PDA data integrating. 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 New PDA data. As I said earlier, the VR mode for this game is official, but was left in beta. Even though it's in beta, it's surprisingly well thought out. Though I do really hope that one day either the devs come back to the Forest and finish the VR mode, or the Forest eventually gets its own full VR port. Kinda like what happened with Green Hell, except maybe with less horrible devs. Apparently there's stuff related to VR in the files for Sons of the Forest, so there's a chance that at the very least, that will get its own VR mode. It is kinda unlikely given how that game panned out. I mean, it's been 3 years since release and there's still no console version. But I'm still holding on to hope. Oh my god, it does. How do I throw it? The Forest and its sequel are a couple of my favorite games of all time. I mean, I am a sucker for survival games. If you are too, they are definitely worth checking out, whether or not you use VR. Anyways, thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing. I put a little more love into this video than I have put into some others, cause as I said, The Forest is one of my favorite games of all time. I have channel memberships where for just a total of 99 cents, you can become a Kyojiiin. I have a Discord where you can join to talk to me about anything, The Forest, VR, anything. And again, thank you for watching.